You want real talk, people? This is the place to be. It's Mad Red United. We have got so much to get through. It's not only me, it's not only Tim. We have got two others coming on as well. Yes, one of them is Paul and one of them is Owen. Both with plenty to say, no doubt. You've all heard how I portrayed yesterday's game, along with the rest of the week and my thoughts on it. So, first of all, thank you for everyone who's tuning in, everyone in the comment section. Thanks for watching the video. Don't forget to hit that share button as well. Get this video around. Let's get more people involved in this conversation because I'm intrigued. Obviously, I had a bit of a backlash from my comments on social media, but I want to hear what everyone else has got to say. So, without further ado, I'm going to introduce the guests because right now Paul is joining us as well. So,
yeah, you all right, mate?
All right. First of all,
how's it going,
Tim.
Paul?
All right, buddy. How's everything over there in Canada, mate? How did you guys? I'll get into the games in a minute, but
yeah,
how's everything over there? Lockdown getting any clearer? Weather's obviously still nice.
Yeah, weather's banging. Yeah, I was starting to clear out the lockdown, so all the North American sports are getting back to kicking off as well. So lots going on. Yeah,
good signs. My man, Paul. How's Tricks, mate? Enjoying everything, pal?
All right, Phil. As much as we can without looking at any TV and seeing anything of them Liverpool fans or any shit like that.
We will
cope as best as we can.
That's one good thing about living in Canada. We don't get
you're all right, mate. Me and Paul are getting it in the neck big time over here. We are getting it in the neck big time. So what I'm going to do, Owen's going to be joining us hopefully as well soon. I'm going to get your thoughts on how this week has been brought down. Because for me, I've seen the good and the bad this week. You can look at this week with a glass half full, or you can look at it well and truly with a glass half empty. And by that, I mean, for my look on it, you could say we've won against Sheffield United. We're into the semi-final of the FA Cup. What have we got to moan about? And then you could look at it and say we've gone further away from top four. We've now been taken by Wolves, and we nearly got knocked out of by a 10-man championship team in the FA Cup. So you all know where I'm coming from with it, but I just want to see how everyone else looks at it and how they seen it all go down. So, Paul, not seen you for a couple of weeks, mate. I'm going to come to you first, Paul. As real as it can be. Hit me with it, mate. How have you seen the week really breaking down? I know yesterday's still fresh in the memory, and there's a lot of views on it, but we had good signs against Sheffield United, mate. It was a very good performance, I thought.
Yeah, of course. Listen, we've had a perfect week. We have. We've got through to the FA Cup semi-final. You want the best performance yesterday, but we got through. You know, making a lot of changes was always going to affect us. So, but at the end of the day, we got through. We done what we needed to do. Bournemouth, Sheffield United, unbelievable. That's the team we want to see week in, week out playing. Just everything from Pogba and Bruno, them two together are electric. And we've got more to come through. So for me, apart from the Scousers confirming winning league, all good for me.
Oh, mate, it's a good way to look at it, Paul. It really is because, like you said, on paper, it looks like the perfect week. It looks ideal. I mean, we're going to get into more detail on players and performances and certain players from this week soon. But I mean, Nick, how did you see it all, mate? Did you see it any differently when you break it all down like Paul's done? You can't really look at it, but for some reason we're sort of looking at it swaying across to half empty because we're losing ground on the top four. And you know what? We did struggle yesterday, and it does show our frailties in our squad, especially in depth. First team were looking all right. In depth, when we make that many changes, mate, you're sort of asking for trouble.
Yeah, well, you touched on it. I mean, it's been a problem for us for some time now, is the depth. But in terms of the week, it's kind of half glass, half empty, half full, because we put in a blistering performance against Sheffield United, and I think for the top four, I mean, it was always going to be difficult to get into the top four. You know, coming back, like trying to pull back the teams that were ahead of us coming out of this pandemic, when we knew that we were probably with the fixture congestion. I think like from now to the end of the season, we're we're playing like 5 games every 14 days. And it's tough when you have to make changes and you don't have the squad to go to pull from, to be able to have that continuity and performances like we had in the past. It was always going to be really difficult. But like Paul touched on, like we're into the semifinal of the FA Cup. I'm sure we're going to talk about the performance more in depth from yesterday. It was a dire performance. But at the end of the day, if you look at that game specifically, we played poorly, but we got a result. And that's part of the growth and the mentality of the club is when we're playing that poorly, to find some way to get a result and get us to Wembley. So we did it. So yeah, half glass, half empty, half full, I would say.
Yeah,
it's a fair assessment.
I mean, I'll break up how I see it personally myself, and it is only my opinion. And a lot of people have disagreed. A lot of people can see where I'm coming from, but for me to break it down, I'll just use this as an opportunity to break it down how I see it now. I look at it as, on a normal season, pre-season, players need to get games. I understand every player needs to get games and get fit, but this time we have 3 months off and we're coming back to play our mini league, 9 games, to really save Ollie's job, in my opinion, to get into that Champions League spot. So for me, I don't see why we're having to change the team so much. I didn't see why we had to change it so much against them. I thought that was perfect to tune up touch, to tune up form, to get a bit more camaraderie, give Pogba a chance to come in, get Rashford's fitness up, keep Martial on form and tracking on. I just thought it was a good chance to use an extra game before we went to Brighton. And people are saying, yeah, we've got too many games in too many short space of time. I'm like, well, no, not really. We haven't, because when you look at it, we've messed around with the team twice now. We played the right team against Sheffield United, tried to be clever against Spurs, tried to be clever against Norwich. And like I said at the start, we've fallen 5 points behind Chelsea now, and we are nearly out of the FA Cup because we've messed around with the team. We've only got another 5 weeks of the season to go. So why are we changing it so much? Do we need to change it so much? And that for me is that's the ultimate issue I have got, and that's what I'm trying to get across. And people are not understanding it, saying you have to change and rotate the squad. Right now, for me, you come into that team if another player isn't playing well or gets injured, and then you play. We haven't got time for messing around and getting a fully fit squad, because Wolves have played the same team 3 games in a row. They got 9 points, and now they're ahead of us in the league. Yeah, albeit a game in hand, but Wolves are well and truly in this fight now. So now we're fighting for 5th, even if that is open with Champions League football. So that is my point exactly. Why are we changing a team which has played so well and can actually build on that going into the rest of these league games? That's just my point. And Owen has just joined us now, so I'm just going to get Owen's look on how yesterday went down, Owen, mate. And ultimately, how did you see the week in all, mate? Because Paul put it down into a nutshell and basically just said, look, we got 2 wins. We're in the semi-final of the FA Cup. Nothing much to moan about, really. In hindsight, you could say. How did you see it, Owen, bud?
I mean, the Sheffield United game, it was one of the best performances I've seen from the United team in a long time. It was proper sexy football, beautiful to watch. 3-0, Tony gets a hat-trick. We're all happy days. But yesterday, I did say it to my mates, I thought it'd be a bit of a slow game. It just looked very slow, lethargic at times. I don't know, I didn't think Lingard did anything to impress me and prove that he maybe needed to get back in the team and have another chance. Just wasn't a great game to watch. It was a bad game of football. And we're lucky in the end with Maguire popping up, because if we go to penalties there, I'm not confident in the slightest with Tim Krul in goal, because he's a penalty specialist. We all remember the 2014 World Cup with Holland. But he did brilliant. And we're very lucky to be in the semi-final. But at the end of the day, with a cup competition, it doesn't matter. And as long as you're in there, that's all that matters. And it looks like we're going to be playing either Chelsea, Arsenal, or City now. So it's going to be a tough semi-final and or final if we get there. But look, we've got Brighton on Tuesday, and hopefully we can go back to playing the way that we did against Sheffield United and tear them apart.
Yeah, that's it. So, I mean, with the Sheffield United game, I don't think anyone's got any issue. That is, on paper, our strongest team. I mean, would you change that at all, Paul, mate? Is there anyone you would replace from that starting lineup for you? I didn't see it in what we've got right now. I thought that was the best we had.
Yeah, of course. And to be fair, I think Ollie's been getting a lot of stick for making a lot of changes on against Norwich there yesterday. But he made the right decision, mate. Three games in 7 days is a lot. 5 games in 14 days is a lot. You play football yourself. When you do them round robin tournaments, after so many games, you get knackered. I think he made the right decision playing that team there. Let's keep them boys fresh. Rashford get injured. Martial get injured. We're going back to square one. We need Champions League football. And for me, we keep going on about Chelsea. Leicester's dead, mate. Leicester is gone, mate. No danger there dropping out of that no matter what. They can't even score a goal. So for me, I think we've got all chances of still making that. And I think he made the right decision. Let's concentrate on Champions League. We go through the FA. Listen, at the end of the day, the FA Cup, it's not going to be that magical FA Cup final. Wembley, 90,000 fans going to be there. It's going to lose that. So for me, I thought he made the right decision. Even if it went out, you say, would it have been really too much? Let's go for Champions League. That's what we want. That's what we need.
Yeah, this is why I'm getting everyone's views on it, because I see it one way. Paul sees it another way there. I mean, it's fair enough. I understand everyone's opinions on it. If we lost one game in our running, I think everyone would probably choose the FA Cup. Let's just lose that one. If we had to lose one, I don't want to lose anything, to be honest. And we were lucky yesterday against a very, very poor Norwich team who scored 2 goals in 8 games. But every time they went down our right-hand side, they looked really dangerous. So that brings me on to the next point. You're talking about changing the squad there, Paul, mate. So let's go in to the players that actually came in. And let's decide if any of these players have actually got a spot in our future, basically. Because Alien 10, I'll just read a comment there. I want City scalp in the cup. I don't know.
We all want that.
Yeah.
It's whether we win or lose it. That's the problem, mate. We all love to beat them.
That's it.
I kind of like to see them. I'm crying on Arsenal fan TV, though, so that'd be fun, too.
I'm going to go through a couple of players because there's a lot to get through, to be honest. So I am going to say, first of all, defensively, yesterday we had Ighalo and Bailly come in. In terms of them breaking into the team, did they do themselves any favours yesterday, Owen, mate? Did you see a performance in any of them two that's making you think, you know what, they can come in and dislodge a Lindelof or a Bizaka? For me, I thought they were both distinctly average, especially defending for Ighalo. But I understand squads. A lot of people have come on my comments to me and said we need the squads. I understand that, but end of the day, I'm never going to play either one of them two after yesterday's performance ahead of the other two.
I don't understand anyone that would, like Ighalo. I don't understand how PSG were trying to bid 35 million for him, because I don't think he's worth it in any way, shape or form. He didn't look great. He going forward or defensively, he didn't offer much. His crossing was pretty abysmal. He just didn't look. When Mourinho brought him in, he said that he thought he could be United's right back for the next 10 years. I don't think he could be a top level right back for any club, really and truly, at the moment. He hasn't shown it in his percent. He's obviously got a lot of potential, but he's not doing it. Ethan Laird, obviously, come through the academy. Someone just mentioned there, would have been a great option to bring in. But Ighalo, not impressed by him. But Bailly, yes, the performance yesterday wasn't, top class. But when he has come in previously throughout the season, I think he's done a lot better than Lindelof, and I'd be more confident with Bailly than Lindelof in the long run. I'd say. I wouldn't. Yeah. I'd have Bailly over Lindelof, but the question with Bailly is his fitness and whether he can stay fit for the full season. I don't know how many months he's already been out injured this season, but it's a lot, and probably 3 or 4 months already in a year. You cannot have that as a player that you depend upon to be your starting centre half alongside Maguire.
Yeah, I mean, Tim, any of them two sort of making any stake to claim getting this team, especially in these league games coming up? I mean, I didn't see it. Owen's not been impressed there, but there is obviously that shout, and a lot of people have brought Bailly up, especially over Lindelof, and thinking Bailly is a better partner alongside Maguire. I mean, how do you see him, mate? I understand if the injury issue wasn't there, would he be ahead of you instead of Lindelof, say?
It's a tough one. I mean, I think probably at this point, I'd stick with Lindelof and just try to allow him to try to work through some of the issues he's had early in the season. Certainly, Bailly, I agree with Owen. He wasn't terrible yesterday. He didn't do, he put in a decent performance. But, I mean, let's be honest, nobody really put in a tremendous performance, right? It was a missed opportunity for him and Dello for sure. Like, you're going to get these opportunities, like we talked about Lingard, and when you come into these games and they're coming thick and fast, you got to take your chances and your opportunities. Did Bailly do enough to unseat Lindelof? He didn't for me.
Paul, where do you see Bailly, mate? I mean, I can't remember if we spoke to you about Bailly. I mean, is he one you would like to see come in and get more games? I mean, it may be a difficult time now because we're so pushed and we're fighting for every single game for a lot of honours right now, namely getting in the Champions League again. It may not be the right time to try and bring him back in or ease him back in because we need to act quickly in these games. But future-wise, even going into next season, mate, is he one that you would maybe think about replacing Lindelof, or is he just not going to be able to do that?
It all rides on Bailly, doesn't it? If he can stay fit, man, he's our type of defender we need next to Maguire. But he's not consistent and he's injury prone. So Lindelof's a good replacement. I don't mind Lindelof. I think he's been coming into his own of late with Maguire next to him. They had a shaky start when they first got together at the start of the season. But no, I think they're coming on. Stick with him. Give him another year.
I think if we're talking replacements for Lindelof, I think for me personally, I'd love to see Axel when he's fit. If we're looking long term and in the next season, he really impressed me.
Yeah, they haven't given him much chance, has he?
No, the injuries too, right?
Got injured so much. I think he's got a lot of opportunities this year.
Is this another Eric Bailly? Is this an Eric Bailly part 2 again with the injuries? It's the ultimate. It's like cursed Man United centre half. I mean, thank God that Harry Maguire's made of different stuff because the rest of them are you just never know. You never know. They are one sort of hobble off and you could not see him for the rest of the season. It always seems the same. I mean, someone mentioned Fosu Mensah there, another player from the youth who's just been plagued by injuries. It's crazy our defence and how many injuries we get compared to every other team in the league. And then Dallo, say no more. When's the guy ever fit? You know what I mean? It's frightening. I mean, I know Luke Shaw's was very, very unlucky. I know that. But this goes to show our luck in defence, really, doesn't it? But moving on to a bigger, huge issue. Oh, the midfield boys. Now, I had a lot of Barneys. I'm probably going to have some more Barneys on the show after this one regarding Bruno and the stick that Bruno's getting of his passing and he's giving the ball away and this like that. For me, I do not give a toss how many times Bruno Fernandes throws that ball away. I'm looking at it and going, hang on a minute, let's see. Would he be playing better and will them passes actually reach their target if a Pogba was playing or a Matic was playing or someone instead of a Mata or a Lingard alongside him? So, I mean, that's another debate. I just want to touch on to Jesse and Juan Mata. My fan cam headline yesterday was Mata and Jesse Lingard should never start for United ever again. I mean, the words are there. I said the word start. I understand squads. I do. And for me, neither of them would get into our team. I'm going to come to you first on this one, Paul, mate. Lingard and Mata, mate. Where do you see their futures at Man United? Because yesterday, I understand first game's back and everyone's going to be a little bit rusty. But come on, you have to do a little bit more. And Lingard had chances to run at that defence yesterday and he just seems to be stuck in the Mourinho sort of mould of football. Is there any future at all for Lingard, mate, or Mata to that matter?
No, we know that they're both Deadwood, aren't they? Both clear Deadwood have beaten today. They're offering to. All he's got to get rid of Lingard, Sanchez, Jones, and Smalling to get Sancho. That's a no-brainer. They all can go. They're all Deadwood, and he's getting rid of the Deadwood. Well, for me, I think Colin made a mistake there playing. Don't play Lingard and Mata together. You play one or the other. Not with Bruno as well. You got a 3-10. We just left. We had no width whatsoever. We had no pace. And I thought it was a poor selection to play them two together. Play one, and give us a bit of pace down one wing. We had no pace anywhere down that wing yesterday.
No, was literally, it was severely lacking. I mean, Owen, is there a way that Lingard and Mata could have come in that team? Paul nailed it there, and that pretty much touched on my issue at the start. Too many changes. they can't play together. It was just too much. Is there a combination where Mata could come into this team or Lingard could come in with other players playing?
I think Mata, does certainly have his place in the squad and can come in and out of the side, personally, I think. Because we've seen in Bruno's earlier games, Bruno and Mata seem to complement each other very well because they've both got great footballing minds. And they just seem to play very well together for the first couple of games. And I really enjoyed it. But Mata is getting on a bit, and I can see maybe him staying next season and probably then moving back to Valencia and sort of, having like Cazorla's gone back to Villarreal, just having that sort of renaissance at the end of his career. I don't see much of a long future for Mata. But Lingard, we've all said enough about him already. I love him. He gave me one of the happiest moments of my life when he scored the FA Cup final. But he's just not cutting the mustard, and he needs to move on. I don't know where he's going to buy him. You're saying Mourinho. He's still in the Mourinho mindset style of play. Maybe Mourinho would take him on at Tottenham. Who knows? But I cannot see where he fits into this United team. Like as a squad player, even then, I'm not confident him bringing in any game. We've seen him come in at Derby. That kind of seemed like his level, but he didn't even seem. He didn't seem like he was, pulling up trees or anything. He just seemed like a half decent player, like 6 out of 10. He's just he's not a United level.
Mm-hmm. I mean, the rumours are that United have stuck a £20 million price tag on him, Tim, mate. I mean, that wishful thinking.
Yeah, I mean, just to echo kind of what Paul said, and you and I were talking before we came on, is you can't put those two wide in the same team. That was just asinine for me yesterday when I saw that, because when you got the team sheet, you were like, how is he going to set this team up? And then when you saw that they were actually turning out in the 4-2-3-1 with those two beside Bruno, that was when I was just like, hey, we're going to have problems. I think in terms of Lingard, I actually went back, and over the last 3 seasons, I think he's played in something like 4 or 5 different formations where he's come into the team. He's played as a number. They've tried him as number 8. They've tried him as a 10. They've tried him wide. They tried him as a false 9 against the game against Arsenal, where he actually performed decently well in that spell, I think, when Ole first came in. So it's not like he hasn't had his opportunities, and they haven't tried to implement him into different formations and different positions on the pitch to try to give him a role. It's just not happening for him, and it's been such a, it's like Gary Neville said last week. It's not like it's a blip. This is a sustained run of form, and I'm not one to slate our players, but he's just not good enough. He's just not. He can't come in and do the job for us, and that's really what you want to see when you bring these guys into the squad. That's how, like, under Fergie, we'd make changes and players would step in and they knew what their role was, and the thing kept ticking over week to week. And we're just not. These guys aren't capable. You throw Pereira into the same mix, So for me, 20 million is if we can get 20 million for him, then.
Raul is his agent, so we probably will get 20 million for him.
Yeah. I mean, you mentioned Pereira as well there, mate. One that's been a bit of a 50-50 split in terms of the fan base that I've noticed, especially since we've come back, this guy. I mean, Dave Martin says the same there. Luke Shaw can go. I've never known it, but it's so split over one player.
It's not
but
split.
For me, I didn't think Luke Shaw was horrendous yesterday. I thought he was not the worst player on the pitch by a mile. But there is something that United fans are not seeing in Luke Shaw. I don't think we've spoke about this actually, so I'll just use this as an opportunity now actually just to get you guys' opinions on it, because there's some that are completely having him, and then there's some that just do not rate Luke Shaw one bit at all. Whether it's because Williams is pushing and the homegrown player looks a little bit more adventurous than what Luke Shaw is and a bit more tenacious, maybe that's sort of pushing people's mindsets that way. But, I mean, Paul, how do you see Shaw, mate? Is he one that you think has declined, isn't going to be good enough going forward, or is he going to be... He has improved a little bit, I mean, especially in that third-man centre-back role, but it's clear that we're going with 4 at the back now for the rest of this season with the games we've got by the look of it. And would you play Williams over him? Is it time for Williams to come in, or is Shaw still going to keep that spot for you?
I prefer Williams on there. I think he's a better attacking wise. I love his energy up and down the touch lines. We're sure, yeah, we keep holding on. He's going to get back to that form he was in before he broke his leg. No, but that's been 2 years now, and he's getting nowhere near the type of form he was before he got injured. So for me, I don't see why Williams hasn't been given a chance. I don't understand why he brought him on Saturday and played him right back. He's a left back. He's naturally left-footed. Why play him right back? I thought I would have even played him there yesterday, but I don't see why Shaw's playing over him because Williams was one of our best players before this pandemic kicked in. So I don't think we're giving him his fair chance.
Yeah, that's it. It says it all. I mean, it's that Mike's agreeing with you there, mate. Williams far better player, and he's only played a few games this season. He's only just come on, so saying a lot. But that's where the United fans are going with this. A lot of them are. I mean, Nick, Tim, I keep calling you Nick for some stupid reason. Tim,
it's all good, mate. Just don't call me late for dinner.
How do you see Shaw, pal? I mean, is it because Williams is there now and we've got an option? Are we looking at him and going, you know what, we've got a player there who could probably come in? Whereas before, when we didn't have another left back, was he getting away with it?
I think with Shaw yesterday, for me, he just looked absolutely knackered. I don't even think he got out of first or second gear. There was times when, you needed him to sprint, and he almost seemed to into a light jog. Like he looked off the pace yesterday for sure. Going forward for the future, yeah, like I think we talked. I know we talked about this. I think last show or the show before, where I just don't think that Shaw has the ability to get back and recover with the width that we want to generate from our fullbacks. I don't think that Shaw has the ability to get forward and then get back, and he's out of position so many times because he doesn't have that recovery rate that Wan-Bissaka has, and we've seen Brandon Williams have with the pace to get back and not necessarily get in front of defenders, but throw in a tackle, a time tackle that's going to stop the attack. So he's a workhorse. I think there's still a place for him in the side, but I think that in terms of who should be our number one left back going forward, I'd have to go with Williams. I mean, we've seen them play with the three center backs where Shaw is slotted in, and Williams has basically operated as a wing back for us. So that's why I say I think there's still a role for Shaw, and certainly with rotation. But yeah, for me, it's got to be Brandon Williams. It's just the evolution of football, right? Like, I mean, he's going to get challenged by a younger player who's coming and performing, and Williams is doing really well. So.
That's it, mate. Owen, where do you stand, mate? Is Williams needing to come in now? I mean, a lot of people were impressed with him yesterday, out of position, like Paul said. Does he come now and be given a chance on that left-hand side? Or I mean, all he loves Luke Shaw, it seems, mate, doesn't he?
Well, it seems like he loves Luke Shaw and he loves Andreas Pereira, which is baffling. I mean, Pereira must be going out of his
swearing, Owen. Stop swearing.
I didn't swear.
Nice. Yeah, Pereira.
Oh. I was going to say, I'm used to getting grief for swearing.
Scolded him like his father. I was like, what is going on?
Fucking hell.
Yeah. I mean, in terms of mentioning them footballer names.
It's a sacrilege is what it is. But sure, look, do you know what I'm kind of sick of now? And look, and obviously it was horrible. We all seen the injury. It was final, wasn't it? It was horrific. But look, it's 5 years ago now, and people are forgetting that. It is 5 years, and you can't just be like, well, he broke his leg 5 years ago. Do you know what I mean? That's an excuse for a year, 2, maybe max. You can't say 5 years, still be like, oh, he did break his leg. And look, he might not return to the form, but I don't think I don't know. He doesn't seem to be cutting the mustard. He sometimes you see glimpses of it. He looks all right, but he doesn't. If you look at our previous left backs, Dennis Irwin, Evra, is he in that category? No, nowhere near. And he's not. I don't know. I think Williams should be given the opportunity towards the end of the season. And I think the majority of the fan base was surprised that Williams didn't start yesterday. Not even just that we think he should be starting over Shaw, but in terms of rest and rotation, if we were going to rest and rotate the side, why wouldn't you bring in Williams for Shaw? That seems like the most logical thing, especially if you're going to bring in Ighalo instead of Wan-Bissaka. It was very confusing, and I don't know. I don't think Shaw is cut out for a United level of play. you just see it. Look, I think he'll be a good player, and I think he's a good player, and he has good games here and there. But if we want to, as you know, yourself and Ricky have said before and stuff, if we want to be challenging again and challenging for titles and going up against Chelsea and Liverpool and City in the next 3-4 years, do we see him as that left back? I don't think we do.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, the news has just broke there, boys. We have got Lampard again, Ollie's favourite manager to play against. So, Owen, you and your friends down south, you're going to have a bit of fun with this one, mate, I think.
I'm in Manchester at the minute, so...
Yeah, well, for some reason, they're
United
still playing
City
it
final.
United City final. Oh,
imagine.
God. No, man.
Oh, no, don't. No, Yaya Toure already broke my heart at Wembley. Don't even bring up that shit.
Can't even go.
11 years old.
So that's the FA
sad
Cup
time.
draw done and dusted then. Chelsea it is. So, I mean, City are in the final, obviously, because they're just going to walk over Arsenal. And then, it's all going to come down to it. Can Lampard finally beat Solskjaer? Or is Solskjaer's record going to hold up? Because he beats him every time. So,
If Solskjaer
probably
beats
an
him
all right
four
draw for
times,
us. Solskjaer likes playing Chelsea, period, to be honest. He likes playing against them anyway. We quickly going back, we've just got off scope there because of the draw being made. So Chelsea it is, if anyone didn't see that. I think most people in the comment section have let us know about that one. But getting into yesterday's game again, I just want to do a bit of a shout out for Ighalo. I thought, as a lone striker and feeding off scraps, I thought he did really well for me. And you know what? Encouraging to know that we've got a guy who can come in, like we were saying, hasn't played much, but still looked as sharp as he did yesterday. Don't forget, this guy's gone past 30. So everyone coming to me saying these players coming in, these young lads, the rusty, first game back. Ighalo's gone 30, people, and he was sharp yesterday. So kind of puts that into perspective in terms of making it as an excuse for everyone else being a bit rusty. Ighalo's first start, and he scores. He does his job when we needed him. And it wasn't like he was getting loads of chances on a lot of the ball. He just took his chance and did it well. I mean, Owen, we spoke about this a while ago in terms of Ighalo. We weren't going to pay 20 million for him. We didn't think it was right. Yeah. Extended the loan deal. We're up to January. Could play a key part in this season, mate, especially with that little mini tournament, Europa League, when the Premier League finishes. Big shout out for Ighalo yesterday for me. I was impressed.
Ighalo does his job. He does his job down to a fucking T. Hold the ball up, score a goal, whether it be a scrappy one or like the belter he scored against Lask. He scores goals. He holds the ball up. Great hold-up play. Does exactly what he says on the tin. Perfect player to have in and around the squad. We obviously don't want to be seeing him starting every game, but for what he's come in on the loan, he came in to do a job, come in into those smaller games, score goals, hold the ball up, with the last 15, 20 minutes. Did it brilliantly against City. And I think absolutely brilliant addition to the squad. We were all sceptical. I remember I got the news when I was in the pub in Fallowfield and I seen it and I thought someone was taking the piss out of me when they sent it to me. Honestly, I thought it was like an early April Fool's Day thing. But he's come in. He's done an absolute wonder. He's done a wonderful job. He's on, was it 5 or 6 now for the season? And
it's 5
and 6.
Yeah.
5 and 6.
So, and what
goal every time he starts.
If he'd started in the summer, he'd probably have a better goal scoring record than Nicolas Pepe, who cost 75 mil. So he's done brilliant. He's done brilliant. And as a squad, look, we all know he's not going to start every game week in, week out. But as a squad player to add a different option, he's something different to our front line. He was brilliant yesterday as well. That finish yesterday was brilliant. The way he changes his body, puts it like sort of towards Crawl and still beats him. I think he's honestly, because we have such low expectations for him, I think he's massively exceeded them. And I'd love it if we could sign him permanently, to be honest.
Yeah, I mean, Paul, you having Ighalo, buddy?
Yeah, man, I love the kid, man. I think type of player, he loves the club. Every time he plays, he puts 110% in. You can't ask any more. And like you say, there he's getting the goals. Like you say, Sanchez, 500k a week. He scored 2. You know what I mean? This guy's come in and scored 5 and 6.
Mm-hmm.
The guys, every time you put him in, he does the job. What more can you ask for?
Yeah, I mean, Mike's just posed the question there again. Would that be the way that Ollie's going in the transfer window now? The likes of a Campbell or Ward-Prowse, would they come into a sort of United team? I know what, I don't see it. I see them sitting on the bench if they came into United. I really do.
It's a question that's floating around Twitter though the last few days: is United's transfer strategy need to change from the 110 they want to splash on Sancho to dividing that up and strengthening as opposed to.
This is a very key question, because a lot of people would say, would you take a Grealish if we didn't get a Sancho? Would you take a Grealish and maybe a Partey for the same money that you could get a Sancho? Mm-hmm. And then we all know that we need help in that holding midfielder role, and Partey would come into that equation because he is gettable, he is available, and he is quality. But again, where is Ollie looking? With the way Ollie talks, he thinks that Fred and McTominay are holding midfielders, and I don't see them holding midfield. I just don't see them being that type of player. But one midfielder I did want to touch on before we finish up, I'm just going to just pose the question straight out to you boys. Obviously, there are some, what I call, I don't know, I'm not going to call them idiots, that's a bit too strong, but people who are not having Bruno Fernandes simply because he gives the ball away. I mean, I'm not even going to get into detail. Everyone knows how I feel on this. So I'm going to come to Paul first. Paul's going to blow this out the water for me, I think. Paul, we've watched, and we're old enough to have seen pretty much Ferguson start the ball rolling at United. Bruno Fernandes is a Ferguson-style player for me. He would be one of them Ferguson would go to when we're down and go and make something happen, Bruno. Go and do something. Has it all changed because of the managers that we've had in the past and this obsession with possession and percentages of passes and playing the percentage ball? Has it all changed with the managers we've had? Because for me, I love this guy. I love him hitting passes astray and trying to shoot and trying to make things happen. I don't know what it is with people. Am I just old school?
Exactly. Typical Rick, innit? He wants to go back to the Ighalo moments where we just don't risk anything, pass it side to side. Bruno's been he's been an eight-can't signing for us. He's lifted the whole squad. Look at Pogba now, smiling, liking each other's posts on Instagram, commenting with each other. He's been the icing on the cake for me. For anyone to criticise him, take your head for a wobble, mate, because I tell you, we've been a different team with Bruno in it. Different team. If we would have had him at the start of the season, we would have been a lot more further up the table than we are now, I'll tell you that.
Yeah, definitely. I totally agree with that, mate. I think I'll break the stats down. Since Bruno's been there, he's played 13 games. We've won 9 of them and drawn 4 of them, averaging 2 goals a game. You know what? We haven't lost one game.
No.
There's an influence there. You can see him talking. He makes people play quicker, and I think people on his wavelength are the ones that are going to prosper, like a Matic, a Pogba, Martial, Rashford. All these quick-thinking players are the ones who are going to benefit. And that was notable yesterday. We had no quick-thinking players there yesterday around him. And maybe that's why some of them passes went astray, because they're not on the same wavelength. Got to accept it that they're not as good.
It's a big difference when you got Lingard and Mata running down the Martial.
Exactly. That's what I was going to say. Like, who's there to stretch the play for him? Who's there to stretch the play for him out wide?
Exactly.
So then everything becomes so narrow. He's going to try things still, but he's got so many players around him. That 4-2-3-1 system, the whole thing, you need the width to give your number 10 a chance to give him the space to work in, right? Yesterday it wasn't there.
Exactly. It's what I've been saying all along. I don't mind risk-taking players. Because, you could get, 10 bad passes. But if 4 of them were key passes, then you know what? Like it was yesterday, he created 5 chances yesterday. I'll take the 5 chances all day long over 10 misplaced passes. Owen, what boat are you in, mate?
Anyone that's criticising him is an absolute fucking donkey. He's fucking brilliant. Anyone that's criticising him is a fucking dickhead. I don't understand it. I do not understand it. He's been brilliant since he signed for us. You know, if you looked on Twitter after his first 5 games, it seems like everyone had a massive hard-on about him. You know, the second he has a few misplaced passes, I think that you just see just the volatility of like football Twitter and football social media. People just sort of, jump on a bandwagon or something. You know, like with Maguire's mistake against Tottenham, it went mental, you know, like 80 million for a donkey and all that stuff. Just looking at it, going like, man, just you know, chill out. He's misplays a few passes, but yeah, he still has played brilliantly. And if Bruno didn't come into our side at the start of Feb, we wouldn't be. I don't think we'd be talking about top 4, or we'd be talking about, you know, this Europa League final. We could have gone. I reckon we probably would have only just narrowly beat Bruges. I reckon we have a complete different season if we don't bring in Bruno. And you know, anyone saying that he's not good enough. Whatever. Look, I was sceptical because he came from the Portuguese league. He proved me wrong within 5 games. He was fucking brilliant. So anyone that's having a go and saying, you know, he's not good enough, it's just a donkey. That's just the only way I can say that.
We didn't sign him to come in and play backwards passes. He signed a playmaker as a number 10 to come in and try things and create chances. So obviously, when he's the number 10, he's got the ball in high leverage situations during the game, and some of the things that he tries aren't going to come off. But that's why he's there. He's literally there to play the final pass to unlock the defense, and sometimes it's just not going to come off. But try it. Like, that's what we need.
Yeah, and believe me, when you're a defender, you see a player in midfield trying to do that. You're not as comfortable in the game. You're thinking, how's he going to play this? Have I got a runner behind me? Yeah. Why is he trying to play this ball? He confuses the defense. If you're just playing sideways passes and percentage in front of a team and a defense, then they're going to read it so much easier. If you're trying to mix it up, you've got them thinking, who's that? That is, even if the ball goes over the top and no one's there, the defender's like, is he going to try that next time? You know what I mean? You don't know what's coming.
When he starts playing between the lines and we get everything lined up properly, and he starts playing between the lines and that center back has to step up, that's going to create space for, you know, diagonal runs from the wing for like, it's just, that's what he's there for. So I don't understand the logic of people saying, well, you know, the stuff he's trying hasn't come off. He's there to try things. That's what his role is.
Well, that's it. That is exactly it. I mean, yesterday, obviously, I think for me, man of the match, I'm going to come to you guys for your player. I knew you thought was standout. My man of the match yesterday was Harry Maguire for obvious reasons. I thought it was a captain's performance. And in the end, he was the one who looked like he was going to score the goal for us. He had the header, which Tim Krul saved brilliantly. And then a few minutes later, he came up in the centre-forward position there. Bang. Captain Marvel pulls us out the mire, and we move on to Chelsea at Wembley. I mean, did you guys see anyone else play, or would you put anyone ahead of Maguire? Or did you even think Maguire was that good, actually? I mean, Paul, how did you see it yesterday, mate, in terms of standout performer?
There is no really. It was a dead performance. It was a damp squid game, wasn't it? So, obviously, you have no standout performance, but had he got the winning goal, what more can you ask for? You know, that's the case of just say he got us a goal. So, for me, he was the best player. Well, other than that, I thought it was a damp squid game anyway. It was dead from the start. From the signs you see the starting lineup, he was going to be dead. So the whole team was shit. So you can't really say a standout player, to be fair.
Yeah, that's it.
But hey, what about Harry there when he tweeted after the game? Or great to score a last-minute winner in front of the away fans. I thought, fucking hell, he would have loved that as well. You know what I mean? He would have loved.
That would have been.
He would have loved running into the fans there. And instead, he ran to that empty stadium, man. Let's get
this big old forehead.
That's it. I mean, Owen, how did you see it? Who was your standout performer, mate? Who got man of the match for you?
I agree with you guys as well. Big old H. He did a great. He did all right defensively, and then in the last sort of 15 minutes of extra time, it basically looked like he was playing centre forward. He got up. He had that chance that you mentioned earlier. Krul with a brilliant save. I thought it was in. I was going mental in my living room. And then, to be fair, when he gets the goal, brilliant. Just scrappy enough, but it goes in. It went absolutely insane, and I was gutted because I did have tickets for Norwich away, and I was going to go. Yeah. So I'd have loved to have been in that away, but obviously it can't happen. But definitely Maguire for man of the match for me.
Yeah, definitely. Tim. Any different for you? Anyone else you want to put mentioning on?
No, I think Maguire, but I think for me, I mean, Pogba looked sharp again for me. He came on. I mean, some of the passes he hit were a little bit. Oh, you don't agree on? I can see maybe, but
no. I just seen Harry Beckenbauer. That's what I was laughing.
Oh, yeah. But that's a Saeed comment. That
I thought he came on. He did fairly well. Some of the passes he hit were missed. You know, no one really. The passing was terrible through the team yesterday, but Pogba, he just hangs onto the ball so well, and when we're putting on pressure towards the end there and around the box, he's, for me, kind of changed things a bit. So, but Maguire edges it for sure.
Yeah, definitely Maguire there. Paul's just getting a new drink brought out for him there. You see there?
That's where I'm headed after this.
It's
Another
real.
drink.
Yeah, let's see. Quickly for everyone, yes, I will be on the United stand after this show. You want to tune in there as well. I'm sure we'll be having some serious comments and some words with Ricky inside on that one. It should be fun. But no, I mean, I personally, going on the Pogba now, looking at the fixtures ahead, lads, I mean, I don't see Pogba staying on the bench for the rest of the season. I think he starts every single game now, as long as he's fit, obviously. But looking now, you got Chelsea in the semi-final. There's going to be no resting players in that game, I guarantee it. So all the way through now, I think, in terms of before the Europa League comes in, we've got what? We've got a possible 9, maximum 9, 8 games.
When is it? When is
the
the
FA Cup?
Semi-final?
Wembley, mate.
Wembley.
17th.
No, when?
11th, innit?
July 18th and 19th.
Oh,
it's
so yeah,
18th,
yeah.
So they're gonna have to move the West Ham game. So you're gonna the West Ham game, I think, will probably move to the following Wednesday. So you're gonna have like 5 games within 13 days.
It's no problem. We've had 3 months off, Tim. Like I keep telling everyone, the players
It
should be
is a
raring
lot
to
of
go.
games, that though. That is a lot of games.
Yeah.
And
It's
then
a
we've got
good-
Europa
like it.
League after it.
Yeah,
No,
it's a good
shit.
job. We've
Just
got a
end
big
it now.
squad.
Liverpool have won it. Let's just end it. It's dire watching it with old fans. Just fucking end it, man. But I'm not
Oh,
even
man.
asked now. The fact even Liverpool winning league, it's the worst season ever. No one cares. Let's just
It'd be a lot
finish
fucking
it.
worse if City win the Champions League in August.
Oh, mate, let's
So
not
the one-
even
they don't-
think about that. That would be bad. I mean, looking at it now, guys, quickly. I mean, we see now Wolves are performing. We've seen Chelsea take down City and give Liverpool the title. Are we any more worried about top 4 right now? I know let's take 5th out of it. That could come into the equation.
Our
I mean,
fixtures are too easy. Our fixtures too easy coming in. We have got a good run of fixtures there. I think we're overtaking Leicester. Leicester are dropping right out of it.
I'll give you a couple here, actually, fellas. See how you think it may change your mind. But Chelsea, for instance, 4 of their last 3 games are Wolves, Liverpool, and Sheffield United. So
All the Liverpool boys are still going to be pissed for the next couple of weeks.
nah, mate, I don't think so. They're gonna want to break more records. Them, that's what I'm telling you now. They're gonna want to try and take the points total, aren't they? That's the next target now.
With rolling into next season and the amount of it's going to be football literally for the whole a year of football, finishing off this season and next season. It's going to be. I think there's going to be a lot of rotation for Liverpool now.
That's it. Be honest, mate. I don't see them having a massive squad to rotate. They've been lucky with injuries this year. I think. I see Liverpool not wanting to lose a game. That's what I see. I just think that's going to be the mentality going
You want
forward.
the 107 points, don't they?
Yeah, they want to take. They've got nothing else to play for now.
Oh,
Can you imagine Liverpool not winning another game for the rest of the season? I don't know if that's consolation or
I
not.
don't think they'd give a shit. And in all fairness, you can't blame them, man. They
Oh,
won the
shut up
league.
talking no.
I'm trying,
You're gone.
Look, I'm
Finish.
trying to talk sense. Right? Look, we'd all be celebrating in the streets in Manchester if we won the league as well.
I tell you what, mate, we won't be
Can't
bombing
be
the town
sick.
hall with fireworks, though, would we?
No, we wouldn't. That was out of order. But we'd all be on the piss in the. We'd all be on the piss in the square.
I don't know. I don't. She's COVID-19. It don't matter in
No
Liverpool, does
one's
it?
bothered, are they?
No.
Holidays have been cancelled. People are dying. Liverpool, it's been a damp squid season. It's irrelevant. Them winning the league now is irrelevant.
Oh, come on, lads. Let's not try and be bitter, man.
Has anyone been bothered about Liverpool winning the league? It's not bothered me. I've not watched it on shit, but I've not been asked.
No.
If it was a full-on season where they romped it and they're all there, the Anfield walking out to the Anfield screaming, "You'll never walk alone" when they've won the league, mate. They've got none of that. There's no Aguero moment. So for me, been a damp squid season. Who cares? It's irrelevant. So I think it's been a lot easier to take than it would be seeing them walk out at Anfield with the whole Anfield singing "You'll never walk alone" and then Henderson lifting the trophy at Anfield. But sold out Anfield, all the flags. None of that.
Mate. None of that. Right, before we finish, boys, we're going to wrap it up there. Thanks for everyone tuning in the comments, all the super chats as always, and for you guys coming on. But, boys, Brighton away on Tuesday nights. Let's get some score predictions. How do you see it going, Tim, mate?
Oh, I think a response. I'm gonna go 2-0 United.
I like it. Owen, what are you going with, pal?
I'm going to go 3-1 United. Brighton haven't looked too bad, but I think we should be better than them, hopefully.
Yeah. Paul, confident, buddy?
1-0. You know what? The games all the games have been.
How's he not confident? What the fuck's happened?
You know why? Because no
What the
games
fuck's
have
happened
been
here?
entertaining. You don't get no goals in any games whatsoever. Every game is more or less 0-0 at half time and a 1-0. The shit without the fans, football shit. Listen, if the fans was there, I'd be more. Well, fuck this shit, mate. Let's get this season done with, man. I'm sick of it.
Paulie's on a downer. He's got work tomorrow. It's raining in Manchester. Liverpool
So
are the
dark. Let some light
champions.
in, Paul. Let some light in, me.
Oh,
yeah.
God.
I know,
He's
yeah.
closed his
Right,
curtains. He's closed his curtains so he don't get no stick from anyone outside. He's locked himself away.
I know, I'm telling you, mate. I've got Scousers living 2 doors away, mate. I've not moved out my fucking house. Don't worry about that. I leave my house at 5 o'clock just because I know he leaves these at 6, so I don't have to meet him whatsoever. He was outside putting bins out the other day. He wanted to stop and talk. Like, mate, I've got to go in. My kids in there on their own. Fuck
Kids
off,
in the
mate.
paddling
I'm
pool,
not
mate.
talking
Forget it.
to you, mate. Forget trying to shout me and all that. It's not happening. I'm not talking to you about you winning the fucking league. Get over it.
Yeah.
So-
All right, boys. That's it for this week's show. Tim, just give the people a shout out to your socials, mate.
Yeah, Niagara MUFC, the handle for the official supporters group over here in Niagara. So jump on if you're over here vacationing. Come join us for a game or something.
Sweet, simple enough. Owen, pal, give him a shout out, please, bud.
Yeah, Courtney Red 99 on Twitter, Insta, and Facebook. Just have a look at that. And hopefully there'll be a new show coming out in the next week. I am turning 21 next week. There probably won't be. Probably will be very, very fuck all content for a while because I'll be on the beer. But after that, there'll be some stuff being churned out.
Yeah, and Paul's social for everyone is I'm in lockdown still. So let's just everyone, thanks for tuning into the show. Take it easy, stay safe. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button. We've got plenty coming up, and these guys are going to be part of it as always. Cheers for watching, people. I'll see you over in United Stand in about 10 minutes' time, and then I'll see you in the week for the Brighton game, hopefully. Cheering and happy, celebrating a victory. Speak to you soon, people. Bye-bye.